this morning on Today's Health, your embarrassing questions answered. We all have health concerns, but some aren't exactly easy to bring up with your doctor. So here to help us out is Dr. Keri Peterson, an internist and contributor to Women's Health magazine. Keri, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Tamron.
All righty, a lot to get to, and I love the fact that this is true. A lot of people are too embarrassed sometimes to ask.
Oh,
doctors.
absolutely. We're talking about some touchy questions today.
Touchy but real. Okay, Here's the first one. My friend had a sip of my drink and had a cold sore. I kept drinking it. What are the chances that I get one?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let's just talk about what we mean when we say a cold sore. A cold sore is the blister that happens outside the mouth.
On the lip area?
On the lip area. It's not a canker sore, which is the ulcer that happens on the inside of the mouth when you chew your lip or you bite your cheek. So, are cold sores contagious? They are transmitted through skin-to-skin contact. That is pretty well known because the blisters can shed the virus.
Right.
They also can be spread even if you don't have the blister. But here the question is about, are they spread by cups?
Right.
The question is possibly. That is the answer, possibly. What we know is that the herpes virus can survive on surfaces in warm, humid environments for 4 hours. Studies have demonstrated that. Now, is a cup warm and humid? No. But
if I'm drinking hot chocolate, it is.
Yeah, exactly. So feasibly, if someone takes a sip, that virus gets transmitted on the rim of the cup, and you drink it quickly, you could spread it.
So the answer is possibly, which means don't share the cup.
Take precautions, yes.
Okay. All right. The next one is interesting. This person writes, I got married 6 months ago, and I find myself disinterested in sex. Is there something wrong with me?
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, our sex drives fluctuate even throughout the month related to our menstrual cycle.
So it's more common in women than men?
Yes, it is more common in women, and there are so many factors involved. First, there's hormonal changes, be it your menstrual cycle or pregnancy or menopause. Medications can do it, like anti-seizure medications, antidepressants, and birth control. Wow. There's also medical problems that can do it, like diabetes or an underactive thyroid and iron deficiency. Other factors, if you're obese or you're anorexic, these can actually cause fluctuations in your sex hormone levels, influencing your sex drive. Not to mention, some women have self-image issues when they have these conditions.
What about just being tired?
That's a very common cause. Women are exhausted. We spread ourselves too thin. That can absolutely influence your sex drive. Stress, anxiety, depression, and even if you have an issue in your relationship, drug and alcohol abuse can do it too.
So before I get to the next question, though, what you should talk to your doctor, obviously, about this candidly.
Absolutely. Your physician's going to need to rule out some of the things that can be treated, and if not, then it may be an option to speak to a counselor who does deal with sexual health.
All right, up next, this one's interesting. Person writes, I recently got a bikini wax and developed an ingrown hair. Is that dangerous? First, what's an ingrown hair?
An ingrown hair, very common from waxing. What happens when you wax is the hair can not only, it can be removed from the root, but it can break. And if there's a short, sharp edge, it can sort of turn on itself and embed in the skin, and then that can cause a little inflammation, and it creates this little red bump like we see here in the visual. So what can happen, complications are that bacteria can get trapped under the skin, creating a little infection. Now, normally that can go, that goes away on its own.
Infection?
It can cause a little infection from the bacteria that's on the skin getting under the skin. Normally it goes away all on its own. Sometimes you just need to use a little warm compress, but sometimes it can get a little more severe, requiring antibiotics. And in the long term, what can happen if you get them often is that it can cause the skin to pigment or to scar. So at Women's Health, we recommend if you're getting them often, try to stop waxing and seek an alternative method for hair removal, like laser.
Yes. Now, there are some products they sell over the counter that are supposed to exfoliate the area. Is that good?
That can help them as well. Exfoliating the skin prevents the skin from building up over the hair.
Okay. Let me quickly get to the question about varicose veins. A lot of people relate to that. I'm embarrassed to bare my legs. How can I get rid of unsightly veins and prevent them from coming back? How do you prevent it?
Very, very common. Well, first off, the initial treatment is conservative just to prevent them from getting worse. Okay. So that includes exercise. Don't cross your legs when you're sitting like we are. Elevate them. Don't wear tight clothing. Lose weight. Also, you can wear compression stockings to try to keep the veins compressed. Yes. All right. But in terms of more invasive management to treat them, there's non-invasive and there's invasive. For non-invasive, we got laser and we've got sclerotherapy for the little vessels. These cause the veins to collapse. And for more invasive measures, these actually will cause the larger veins to collapse. You can use a laser ablation or a radio frequency ablation. These go in the vessel.
All right, those are good options. Thank you so much. A lot to get to. Appreciate you sticking there.
Thanks, Cameron.
Keri Peterson, thank you. And if you have any embarrassing health questions, head to today.com and send them in. Still to come, too.